Hi, I'm Spencer Campbell, and this is the Tiny RPG Library. The Tiny Library is the first entry in the sort of, I guess, tiny collection that is beginning from Longtail Games. I'm really excited about this. What this is a box full of 50 role playing games that fit on a business card. You can see an example of one of those games right here, Magpies. It's one of my favorites from the box. What is this? It's a game collection from a wide variety of designers from around the world who all have decided to design an RPG that fits on a business card. How do you fit an RPG on a business card? With some pretty creative graphic design, clever use of words, and honestly, you can pull off a whole game on some of these cards with just like a small bit of print. In fact, this one has nothing on the other side, so you can write reflections on it. It's unbelievably inspiring to see all of the games that have come from this. What can you do with this? Well, you can carry around 50 cards with you, shuffle up the deck, deal them out, and then suddenly you are inspired by new games, new ideas, new things to try. Not sure what you should play next? Draw a card from the micro RPG deck. Want to do something that's just going to inspire you? Draw a card from this tiny library. I have pulled out some of my favorites from this collection just to highlight some of the very cool things that you're going to find inside. You're going to find cool things like rituals of play here in this. So, for example, in the Stars Tonight is a fantastic little ritual that you play by yourself where you go lay out underneath the stars, observe them, sketch out the star patterns that you see, and write about and reflect the next day on how they made you feel. Other cool reflections are things like Tiniest Wizard, where you draw literally your tiny little wizard and you throw this card around the room and think about how your tiny wizard would deal with all of the little problems that emerge as you move around the room. I mentioned Magpies before. Magpies is a personal favorite just because I'm obsessed with corvids and crows. It's a very interesting game about sort of like fortune telling of sorts, where you are these magpies, these beings who can kind of see into the fortunes or the futures of individuals around you, sort of have a sense of how things will go. There's this really elegant, it won't pick up on the camera, but little radius of outcomes, sorrowful secret, silver birth, just really fun, evocative words as you just sort of think about how people around you's lives are going. There are whole full games in here as well, like Free Traders is a great example. You love those debt runner games, love the games where you are um, on a spaceship flying through space and you're dealing with jobs and your ship always needs new work and you're looking for missions. This has all the rules that you need to play Debt Runners and has tables on the back to generate things like planets, dangers, jobs, and more. So, yes, a whole game can fit on a business card. There's also really cool things like resources for other games that you might play. So, for example, Wallet Dungeons has to be one of the big highlights from this collection. This is a game where you create a dungeon based off of rolling and stacking dice. And which dice values are facing in which direction dictate various things like the encounters inside rooms. So threats, obstacles, opportunities, and more. You can build a dungeon just by literally building the dungeon with the dice at your table. And lastly, there are cool little micro settings here. So, like this micro setting has a little hex map on the back. I'm kind of obsessed with hex maps right now. And on the other side, you've got rumors and encounters. What a fun little space for me to explore, right? I can grab any game that I could do like a little bit of exploration, throw this card down, and now we have a fun little sandbox to explore, all here that fits on a single business card. The Tiny Library is fantastic. There's 50 games in here, 50 tools, rituals, games, supplements, and more from a wide variety of designers who like you really need to start paying attention to with how amazing and creative they are. Can't recommend this enough. I'm going to figure out like a cool little contraption so that I can kind of carry this around with me everywhere I go. So I have like a little go bag of RPGs that I can just slam down onto any table. So if you like fast games, if you like supplements, if you like rituals, if you like just to see what the creative scene of the indie RPG creators can do, check out the Tiny Library. All right, until next time, bye.